us, all warmed up, bring on the headliner. The boys are all here, we're fired up, and if it's your first time with us, you ain't gonna know what hit ya. It's gonna get turned, it's gonna get right, lit up bright on a Friday night. Either go off or blow up just like we thought it would. It's about to get good. When we show up, it goes down. It's already off the hook. I've been here right now. So can I get a witness? You don't wanna miss this. If you ain't sticking around, well you should. I would. 'Cause it's about to get good. It's about to get good. Yeah, it's about to get good. Oh, it's about to get good. Oh, yeah. It's about to get good. Oh, yeah. It's about to get good. Come on, everybody, kick it up. Gonna get good. It's about to get good. When we show
And we are live from Richmond Raceway here in Virginia, the state for lovers, where tonight we run the Thank You Robert Lukens 200. It is race number 4 of the season 14 playoffs. Just 2 races left in this season to determine our champion here for season 14 of the Slide Job Racing League. Also now in the booth joining you here tonight with me is Enrique Cucalon. Enrique, we come into a short track race to throw one last wrench into everybody's plans before we begin our championship ceremony next week. What is this race going to play out like tonight for these drivers that are having to try to make one last gasp at a championship?
Well, right now there are 3 drivers that I think would really have a shot to contend for the championship next week. That would be the 36 of Tahari, the 43 of O'Brien, and of course our defending champion Ethan Fonseca Marino in the 29. But there's a lot of drivers that could still mathematically point their way into the fight tonight, and combine that with a short track like Richmond, you get a recipe for chaos out here on the track.
Absolutely, you're going to have guys that are trying their best to get where they need to get to where they can make a run in a championship. That's what they got to do here tonight in Richmond, so we'll see what happens. But if you're ready to go here, I get things set up. That is the right key. There we go. Alrighty, had to get some last minute fixes going because everything decided to stop working properly. We are here, we are live, ready to go racing.
Currently our fastest lap right now, a 1990 by Oscar Enriquez, but probably must have been a lap riding the wall, so not really an indicator of how fast these guys are going to run today.
Yeah, absolutely not. We're going to see very different speeds out of these drivers. And what we'll see. And I think maybe the best speed right now that sits on the speed charts belongs to Dylan Parker, 4th fastest right now. But I think he is the driver that has the fastest proper lap. Matt Steiner just went 2nd fastest, but I think he was on the wall the entire time. Aiden Atkins, 2nd fastest, doing the same exact thing. So
a lot of drivers returning from previous seasons here in the Slide Job Racing League. They're returning here tonight at Richmond. We're going to talk about them here in just a minute.
you have Tyler Watermole who's here. Julie?
Yeah.
You're talking about guys returning from previous seasons and guys from the first seasons of the Slide Job Racing League showing up tonight to run. So we got some old heads, unks as they call them, coming in here tonight. But yeah, talking about the point situation, coming into tonight's race, it is realistically a 3-horse race in the grand scheme of things. Compared, to only having, 11 drivers in these playoffs. The point situation right now sits at this. Mentioned to Hari O'Brien and Moreno. Jaden Porter has an outside shot to make it. He is 55 points back entering tonight's race. So it is going to be a long shot risk for Jaden Porter, our regular season champion, to come out and to win the championship himself. But it's still mathematically feasible. Point system different here in the Slide Job Racing League. 60 points for a win, 55 for second, and it cascades by 3 down until you get to about 6th place. They drop 2 points to 7th, 2 points to 8th, 2 points to 9th, and then 2 points to 10th, then 11th, and then after that, it goes 1 point down from there. So there's a bit of a split. You've also got laps led and most laps led bonus points that come from this league. So there are points on the table for these drivers to go out and grab. So with it being 2 races left, it's not outside the realm of possibility for these guys to sneak their way back in, considering the field we have, 31 cars, only 13 points, minimum for some of these drivers. You think the Hari, O'Brien, Ray, have them wreck out early? The door swings wide open for guys like Porter, like Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, Dane Cruz, and Stephen Maggio, who are all within 70 points. Jeffrey Armistead at 86 points back is a long shot. Justin Rod's back 102 points, and then Francisco Macayo and James Beaumar both have been mathematically eliminated from the championship. They will not take home a championship this season. But like I said, we've got at least 9 drivers that still mathematically have a shot entering tonight's race. It's all a matter of how the race plays out for them and for others tonight.
Yeah, you talked about Stephen Maggio. He won last week's race at California, and he's currently, with all the cheating up times, he's currently in the top 10 if we make it via regular time. So definitely another fast car for the 51, and he won at the other short track race this season at Bristol with a big battle there with Fonseca Moreno, who currently sits 3rd in the standings. So it might not be season over for Maggio just yet. He's just gonna have to have a great night here if he wants to have a shot at the championship next week at Vegas.
Yeah, Steven's a driver that you just can never count. You cannot count on Stephen Maggio from anything when it comes to short track racing, especially. I feel like he's one of our drivers who's been very good at running these short tracks. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Pull up some stats just so I can kind of back this all up. You know, the win at Bristol, and then a 6th place run in Iowa back in season number 13. Didn't do too hot at Phoenix or Bristol last season, but you know, coming in this season, we win the race at Bristol, and I think he's poised to have a good run again tonight. We'll see what happens, but it's going to be interesting to see how this race plays out. There's been Baffert, shows the 95 in the 21 car. A couple of different numbers that are messed up. Him and Bridger Olsen both have the wrong numbers on their cars, so just obviously some other issues that we have tonight, but that's okay. We'll kind of guide you through them as we can. So checker flag will fly here in practice. Oscar Enriquez with a wall ride time. Surpassed. It's going to go to 27 of Chris Downey with a 21.390. Fastest lap time of those on proper time. So we're going to go into qualifying here. Nobody will be going home after tonight's race, after tonight's qualifying effort, I should say. Everybody will make the field of 31. So we'll see how they qualify to set this field to get ready to go. One driver we'll quickly focus on is going to be Matthew J. O'Brien as he rolls his way out onto the racetrack. I mentioned coming into tonight's race, this 43 car, 9 points back of the points lead from Gabriel DeHari. It seems like these two are going to be the ones duking it out the most. If they don't have any issues tonight, they continue these hot streaks they've been on, it's going to be down to O'Brien and DeHari.
Yeah, and the weekend starts here for the drivers. They need to have a good qualifying effort if they want to start at the front. And starting at the front has been very beneficial here at a short track like Richmond, because we've seen in the past in various leagues here on BRN where drivers in the midfield just tend to be more aggressive and generate crashes. So it's going to be really important for these drivers, especially the chase drivers, to start at the front of the field.
Absolutely. That's the kicker, is you have to start out front to finish out front. You haven't really had a lot of guys that have been able to climb too crazy. O'Brien did it in Michigan when he won earlier this season, but a big track allowed a lot of possibilities to get there. O'Brien just really has had a nice past couple weeks. The win to open the playoffs at Darlington, a 5th place run at Pocono, 8th at Auto Club, so all 3 in the top 10. The issue is his opponent has been running an insane hot streak. 8 straight top 6 finishes for Gabriel DeHari, which is why he's your points leader, including the playoffs where he has gone 4th, and 6th. So no worse than 6th place for that number 36 machine so far these playoffs, as we continue to watch more drivers as O'Brien takes his 1 lap and parks it right now. He sits edge or fastest over Gabriel DeHari, who sits in 2nd. Michael Kruger, now either Monte Moreno jumps to 3rd over Michael Kruger and Jamie Wright. Jeffrey Armistead on track right now, one of our long shots to make it into the championship. He, of course, comes into tonight's race. He is 86 points back of the championship. So he'll need a lot of help tonight to get a shot at it next week. But mathematically, it is still possible. It's improbable, but that does not mean it's impossible.
Yeah, you talked about the two main drivers currently, Matthew J. O'Brien and Gabriel Dehari, but you cannot count out Ethan Fonseca Moreno, our defending champion. You know, we sort of saw him struggling at some points in the race last week, but currently 28 points off. It's not over for that 29.
Robinson completes his lap time, 7th fastest for that number 02 car. We'll go to Jaden Porter rolling out the race. I mentioned our regular season champion has been snake bitten here when it came time to running here in these playoffs. The strike for his first time lap. He goes. Dylan Porter goes to the pole position. Jaden Porter going for his first time lap for the next time by. Porter has not had a beautiful stretch, 8th, 9th, and 14th to kick off these playoffs after winning the regular season title. He has just been needing to get some positive momentum going to get himself back in the swing of things. Just hasn't really fallen in his lap yet.
And it looks like Porter has an identical scheme to Moreno on my end, so apologies if we do manage to mix them up.
Don't mix them up. Porter, though, going to be starting out back. He's starting, it looks like, 15th for now as Ethan qualifies 5th. But Ollie Reeves currently out qualifying right now. And then number 13, the solid yellow Chevy Camaro. A little submarine, if you will, for Ollie Reeves as he blows it down. Looks like he's not going to go for a qualifying lap this time by. Back it out and go for it again. Maybe. 1 minute to go. Looks like he's not going to go for it. We got maybe one driver that's going for it. That has been bad for just spun out on the backstretch. He is not going to be going for it. How about Duncan Fall in the 50 car? Possibly going out to see if he can set a lap time that can be up there competitive with the top few. Found his way through 3 and 4. He'll get the green flag this time by for his qualifying run with 40 to go. He'll spin it out. That's likely not going to take him. He's not going to have a chance to set a qualifying lap, I don't believe.
And Ollie Reeves is back out on the track here, so he will set a lap.
Lap times were 22 seconds. We'll have to see what Reeves is at. If he took the start-finish line, he could have a chance of setting a lap time, but I don't think he did. Which will mean that he will not get to set a qualifying lap. He does 22.730. 17th fastest, but he is not going to get any further up the charts than that, so that'll do it for qualifying. It'll yank Ollie Reeves off the track. You'll see that yellow car just disappear as soon as the checkered flag hits. We will go into our 5-minute warm-up. Final 5 minutes of practice for these drivers. You can see the sun rose once again, and it'll set once again once the race gets rolling here tonight. Richmond, it's going to be a fun race.
Oh. Yeah, for sure. One of the drivers that we always see not qualify, but he's in the chase right now, Dane Cruz, starting 21st. So it's going to be a long night for that one car. He wants to get to the front. He's still mathematically available to get into the championship hunt, but that's definitely going to take a lot for the Cruz missile to enter the fight heading into next week.
I mentioned for guys like Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, Dane Cruz, Steve Maggio, Jeffrey Armistead, and Justin Mott, they need problems to happen early for Gabriel Dehari, Matthew J. O'Brien, and Ethan Fonseca Moreno. If that doesn't happen, if Dehari, O'Brien, and Moreno can survive this race and make it to the end with no problems, that will set a championship battle between those three drivers come next week. I believe it's Las Vegas where we're heading for our finale here this season.
Yep.
Indeed it is. So we head to Vegas right now. It looks like we could have a scene tonight where the picture is painted with three drivers in contention championship. But of course we got to see what happens tonight, because if something happens tonight, take some of these guys out, it could shake things up a lot more. If O'Brien or Dehari, only one of them have a bad night, it could likely take them out of contention. Or you could see Moreno make a big swing at it and put himself back in contention to go for a back-to-back title, becoming only the second ever back-to-back champion here in the Slide Job Racing League after Jonathan Parker did so back in seasons 10 and 11.
talked about those 3 drivers are currently in the lineup, 2nd, 4th, and 5th. So already a great start to the night for those 3 drivers. And Justin Rod, how about Justin Rod making his way up to 3rd in the qualifying standings? He is still available to challenge for the championship, but it's going to possibly be must win the next 2 races for that 76 group.
Yeah, Justin Rott is the biggest long shot of the bunch. Again, mathematically, he still can win the title. The probability of that is extremely low, and I mean extremely low, not in the sense of for him, he can go out and win both these races, I think, no problem. The issue is he will need a lot of help to do this. He'll need the 43, the 36, and the 29 wrecking out both races tonight and next week at Vegas. He'll need issues from the other drivers ahead of him as well. Like, he'll need a lot to happen to put himself in a shot to win the championship. It could happen, but it's not probable. But we still need him available because he technically still is in contention for that championship battle. The points and the math add up. He can make it work. It's just a matter of will.
We talked about a lot about the driver, but how about the track itself? We were actually here at Richmond for a race here on BRN last Thursday, but that was with the Xfinity cars. Now with the next chance, it's you could say a whole different experience, but Richmond, it's still Richmond. You will still see people maybe gassing it up a little bit too much and spinning coming out of the corner, so it's going to be really tough on these drivers to handle this track.
Yeah, it's a treacherous track, and it doesn't even look the part of it. You had to be really careful through the corners. You can't push too hard, or else you're going to spin out on exit. And that's where we're going to see a lot of problems tonight, is down this back straightaway here. As these drivers make their way down it, it looks so unassuming. You don't think much of it. This is going to be the scene of chaos here tonight. Is this backstretch coming off of turn 2, maybe even heading into turn 3? This shot right here will show you the spots we're talking about. It is going to be a mad dash for these drivers here tonight. They're going to come off the corner right here, and they might wipe out right here. Maybe they'll make it further down the track, and they'll wipe out right here. Maybe they'll make it further down the track, and they'll wipe out right here. They'll take out an entire field with them in one fell swoop. There's no guarantees here at Richmond what could happen and what could go wrong, but at any given moment, all it takes is one car going for a spin, and they can stack the whole field up.
And continuing on Richmond itself, the race itself on Thursday had a heat format, and we saw here on BRN, the heats were very chaotic, and of course, the last chance qualifier, to say the least. But we saw the actual main event itself go green the entire way, but of course, here tonight in the slide job racing leads completely a normal race, 200 laps, and no heat format at all. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the drivers will tackle this, knowing that they only got one shot at finishing this race.
Richard Olson tops the warm-up over Ethan Fonseca Moreno, Matthew J. O'Brien, Ollie Reeves, and Jamie Wright. Talk about a dark horse pick right there. That 89 of Jamie Wright. He is going to be fast tonight. Short tracks are his specialty. Keep an eye on that 89 machine just in case he's able to slip by and snatch another win here tonight. We'll take a look at your starting lineup for tonight's running of the Thank You Robert Lukens 200 here coming up right now on BRN. The field getting ready to grid. As they get ready to grid, we'll take you through where they're lining up. It's Dylan Parker starting on the front row. We don't always see him qualify, but when he goes out there and qualifies, it is a blazing fast lap from the 3 machine. They'll take the pole over Matthew J. O'Brien, one of our championship contenders. It's Justin Rott, long shot entering tonight's race with Gabriel Dehari, the points leader, starting right there to the outside of row 2. Ethan Fonseca Moreno looking to go back-to-back with championships. He's got a good shot at it, but he needs to have a good run tonight. He starts in 5th with Michael Kruger to his outside. Vladimir Bascom and Jamie Wright, 2 non-playoff drivers, looking to make a statement tonight, starting in row number 4. And then row 5, it is Jeffrey Armistead and last week's winner, Stephen Maggio.
Row number 6, made by Francis Hamilton and Chris Downey. Row number 7 by Jonathan Jorgensmeyer and Brett Bennett. Row number 8 made by Jaden Porter and welcome back Derek Newsom. Row number 9 made by Ollie Reeves and your Pocono winner Oscar Enriquez. And rounding up your top 20, it's Richard Olson and Michael Waltz.
Mentioned it, Dane Cruz starting 21st tonight. Furthest back of our playoff drivers, he'll be starting with Ben Baffert to his outside. You've got Duncan Fall and Yusuf Ghali making up runner 12 together. Caden Atkins and Blaine Sparling occupy row 13. It's Connor Zola and Jacob Locklear in row 14. Rounding out your top 30, it's Fidel Fabian and Nick Donati. Last two cars in the field, Tyler Watermelon and Matt Steiner. And I got your field of 32 drivers ready to go racing tonight. Should be taking 2 pace laps here. Two pace laps. Kind of organized and ready to go racing. Dylan Parker leads Matthew J. O'Brien with the field in tow behind them. The pace truck just guiding us around here in this short track. It's ready to go racing.
And we see some early penalties being given out. Justin Rod and Dane Cruz will have to start tail end on the longest line here, so it's going to be an even longer march for them to get to the front of this field.
Just 2 races to go here in season number 14. Still got 9 drivers with a mathematical shot at the championship. Realistically, give it about maybe 4. Dylan Parker, non-playoff driver, looking to make his statement here tonight. Matthew J. O'Brien looking to cement himself a chance at a championship. Pace truck is off. Green flag is waving. We're racing here in Richmond. Caution out immediately here. I was going to say Jacob Locklear was facing the wrong way further back. Now Youssef Ghali turned around sideways on the exit of turn number 2. Was under caution for the first time here on lap number 1.
Saw there on the initial start, it looked like the outside lane didn't go at all.
Take a look back and see what happened to Jacob Locklear in the 84 first, and then we'll see what happened to Youssef Ghali in the 67. Right there, just contact maybe between the two. Ghali sends Locklear into the inside wall, and then up ahead, Ghali loses it. So it turns to, you see right there, that was Dane Cruz who gets the outside wall, pardon me, right there in the background. So already, Dane Cruz in a bad sway early on. You see what happen ahead of him. Tagged by Locklear. After that, he gets back going. He has to miss a spinning Youssef Ghali. Catch the outside wall. That's 2 hits just at the start of this race for one of our playoff hopefuls.
Yeah, not only Dane Cruz himself, but also the team, Cruz Auto Racing. 3 of the drivers already involved in an incident. And we talked about Dane Cruz last week at Auto Club with that glitch happening to him in the middle part of the race, and him having that damage and having to repair that car completely and getting that lap back. We saw him fighting for spots there with that lap on his belt, but then he got that lap back and just couldn't never make a move to the front. So really poor 2 weeks for Dane Cruz here at California and Richmond.
Their way, racing under caution here. Dylan Parker is your race leader. Either Gonzaga Moreno was able to get to second place because of this. I think we had some drivers take pit stops here. Ultimate. Leader. Lining up.
Now line up side by side once again. Looks like it will be incident. Lap number 1. Pace truck is off. Dylan and Moreno bring the field back to green.
Flag back here.
championship standings. Moreno to the inside, going to the race lead on Dylan Parker. O'Brien and Hari still side by side, and back to Hari catching the ball. Oh, back to the inside. Bonus points, of course, awarded to leading apps. So Moreno got to pick up just one bonus point. Before he can get it.
Oh, we actually got a wreck in the back. Oscar Enriquez.
Chris Downing. Chris Downey around as well. I think it's
Yeah, you sound better now.
not sure what's going on. I think
Yeah, it just went back to sounding like a tin can. Seems like every week here at BRN we have some sort of issue with audio, with ATVO, with the graphics themselves. So it's chaotic, but we still try to bring you the best coverage possible.
showing the BRN replay here to show you what happened. You see Chris Downey got loose on the exit of the corner. When he did that, in the background reacting to it all, you saw Oscar Enriquez look like he might have gotten turned into the inside wall. Working on getting my stuff fixed so that way Enrique can hear me. Enrique, I think you can hear me now, finally.
Yep, all fixed.
Might be good, but you can see right there. I think everything is fixed, everything is good. You saw Downey get loose. He has called it a night early here at Richmond. Same as Yusuf Ghali, who is out right now. 29th is where he has scored of 29 that have started this race. We had 3 drivers that did not attempt to start this race. So 27 right now is the lowest running position you could be. And I think, I hope all of the audio gremlins are fixed. I'm going to check one last time. Just try to make sure, and it sounds like it's fixed. On my end, it sounds like it's fixed when you broadcast in. I don't know what Discord's doing. Discord's doing what Discord needs to do. So hopefully we should be good. And if we're good, we're great. If we're great, we're fantastic. And we're back racing in a fantastic league with this battle for the lead. Devontae Moreno and Dylan Parker lining up once again side by side. Moreno, the control car, now on the outside lane, getting ready to restart. Whew! Race charge off. Moreno, Parker, side by side, back to green here at Richmond. Moreno gets clear of the battle for second between Gabriel Dahari and Dylan Parker. O'Brien slots into fourth. Michael Kruger back there in fifth as they go side by side through 3 and 4.
There you see multiple drivers catching the wall. They're coming out of turn 4. They all keep it going.
Dylan leading all over this 36 car, trying to hang on to second place. You see Kind of getting right up to his door, not touching him, but getting as close as he physically can with Gable Dahari's car as they make their way through 3 and 4. Parker cleared for second, trying to get back to the race lead now, catching to the back bumper of Ethan Fonseca Moreno.
Now the 43 to the inside of the Hari, looking for third.
O'Brien trying to move forward, trying to get more spots, trying to get more points if he can. Up front, the battle still on for the lead. Parker sending it in there a little bit through 3 and 4. Going to try a different approach here to the corners. Dahari once again to the wall as O'Brien works the inside lane.
So we see Dahari get that run on the outside lane, clears O'Brien for third. Now bring Michael Kruger into the mix.
Michael Kruger, one of the drivers that missed the playoffs this season, but he has had a very stout playoff run. As you see in the background, Ollie Reeves sliding and saying that I had the reaction I had, though, because up front, Gable Dahari had a twitch off of turn 2 as well. Richard Olsen pounds the wall through exit of turn number 4.
Yeah, looks like O'Brien also hit it. That allows Michael Kruger to the inside of the 40.
Caution's out.
Caution on the racetrack.
It's Derek Newsom around, facing the wrong way in the background. Mentioned him returning to the Slide Job Racing League. He has an incident here on lap number 19 to put us back under the caution flag. Take a look at your BRN replay and show you what happened to that 05. Oh, I don't know if he just got in on the brakes, got loose, and then overcorrected, but the car slams into the outside wall.
And I heard some of the drivers talk about being tight on the entrance of turn 1. We could see that car just snap around, overcorrected into the wall. And I'm not sure that would be a product of not racing this league, as of course there's a ton of other things to do here on iRacing, but certainly an incident for one of the drivers that are coming back to the season. So far, not a good turn for Derek Newsom. Now I'll take a look at if he can compare the car and hopefully get back in this race.
Yeah, it definitely looks like what happened. Just got in on the brakes and just stepped out a little bit, went to get loose. He went to save it, just overcorrected, caught the outside wall, nosed into it. Not too bad, but he was able to get back rolling, so we'll see if that's enough to make sure he's all okay.
Well, up front, we had a little bit of a peak of a battle there brewing between Moreno and Dylan Parker. And the topic of the playoffs has been respect for the playoff drivers. We saw Pocono, multiple incidents between playoff drivers, non-playoff drivers. We also saw Oscar Riquez, a non-playoff driver, win that race because of all the wrecking that was happening. And we talked about last week at California, that being a prime example of how you should do things when, you know, there are multiple drivers in a situation where they can go ahead and win a championship. So now bring the series to a short track that has seen multiple incidents throughout the year. So it's we're still early, only lap 22, coming back to lap 23 out of 200. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Dylan Parker races this 29. And the 29, we talk about the three-course race. 29, Moreno currently 28 points below the points lead currently held by Dahari pre-Richmond. We'll have to see how that shakes up out after the race.
Yeah, it's going to be something to monitor, is that points battle. We've got Moreno scoring 1 bonus point at least for leading a lap. He's trying to get the most laps led bonus, which would be another point, I believe, added to his total. You've got Dylan Parker, mentioned the racing with respect. He is one of those drivers. He's very aggressive, but he's also really good about it at times. There are times where he kind of steps over the edge a little too much. So keep your eye on that 3 machine. But an interesting decision, Moreno choosing the bottom for this restart. We'll see how it pays off. He'll launch back on the gas, back to green here at Richmond. You see Parker, Dahari going to be side by side entering turn number 1. Dahari clears now. Michael Kruger to the inside of Dylan Parker trying to go for 3rd. As he does that, Gabriel Dahari tracking down your race leader. Dahari backs it off into turn 1. Can he send it through and get the run off the corner to take the race lead here on lap number 25? Kruger backs off. Dylan sending it on the outside lane, trying to get a run going on the top side for that 3 machine as Dahari makes his way towards the back bumper and Moreno once again.
Oh, wrecking!
Brett Bennett, Justin Rott, Dane Cruz involved. And those long shot hopes we talked about for Dane and for Rott likely have just gone up in smoke here at the short track. Incident in the background brings us to caution once again on lap number 26. Take a look at the BRN replay and show you what happened. Follow Dane Cruz here in the background. Brett Bennett catches the wall. Justin Rott, I think, is right here on the inside lane of this 47 machine. Bennett just loses it on the exit of the corner, tags Rott. Jamie Wright gets hit, and Dane Cruz nowhere to go.
Yeah, we saw a 3-wide battle there between Maggio, Walls, and Bennett. Bennett just went a little bit up the racetrack, maybe caught some marbles up there in that outside lane and just gassed it up front and made the corner himself. What happened?
Yeah, but the contact with Rott, the contact with Dane, big blows for those 2 drivers. Mentioned Dane so far back in the point standings entering tonight's race. Same with Justin Rott. Justin Rott was the longest shot, 102 points back. Cruz 75 points back, but continued woes for Dane Cruz going to likely put him in a bad spot. And with more drivers dropping out as well this race, it's all but going to eliminate Justin Rott from championship contention.
Those 2 drivers, they're in this position because of their penalties. We talked about them pre-race. Rott and Dane Cruz had to head to the back. Dane did not qualify, so he was already in a little bit of a pickle, but Rott was going to start up there in the top 5, so that goes on to show that, you know, maybe causing an incident or 2 in prior races could affect your championship, your hunt for the championship itself when it comes to playoff time.
So we'll see how it shakes out. As it stands right now, though.
Sorry.
Yeah,
we saw the Hari make a move there on Dylan Parker to get that 2nd place and was chasing down Moreno there for the lead before that caution came out. So the 36 once again, it's a great car under him, and really excited to see what he can do here for the next 172 laps.
Key note right now, Dane Cruz still on pit road, lap down, likely going to go, no, just 1 lap down. Derek Newsom as well off the lead lap. I think Francis Hamilton has DNF'd officially from this race. He is off track as well on pit lane, off track entirely. Looks like so he has likely called it a night. Which again, drops the spots you can lose only to 26th place is the lowest you can finish as things run right now. So for those guys that were talking about needing miracles, well, the miracles are running short here in Richmond, Virginia. Not going to get a shot at the championship for some of these guys that needed them. Bad runs for the top 3 in points.
So Moreno now to the top.
And Moreno back to the outside. He's got Gabriel Dahari to his inside. Michael Kruger, Dylan Parker, and Jaden Porter, the top 5. Through the restart zone, a delayed launch is going to stock up the field. Duncan Foss slid. Armistead got put in the outside wall. No caution, though. But heavy damage to the O2.
More trouble for the playoff drivers.
They get a quick jump back to show you what happened to Steed Armistead. Right here on the launch, the stack up on the outside lane. Fall gets turned into Armistead. He hits the outside wall, but no caution will fly. He was able to keep rolling, so he is just back out back. Heavy damage to his race car. Going to need a bit of help as well to at least even get back in it for a chance to win tonight's race. Likely out of championship contention. The battle for the lead, however, two championship hopefuls. The points leader, Dahari, the defending champ Moreno, side by side as they make their way down the backstretch. Trying to navigate their way around this racetrack. Dahari backs out of it. Moreno clears back for the race lead. Back in the background here. Battle is for third. Michael Kruger holds the spot. Jaden Porter now giving chase on the inside lane.
One thing I've been looking at that 36 car, he is loose coming out of the corner, especially turn 4. Now he gets that power down, and he will get to the inside of Moreno now.
Big run down the front straightaway, heading into turn number 1 on the inside lane for the race lead once again. Gabriel Dahari trying to get the top spot for the first time tonight. He is on the inside of Moreno, but the outside line gets that run off the corner that's just able to help them stay ahead when they get into a side-by-side situation.
Whoa.
Oh, in the background, Amir Bascombe in the outside wall, not wrecking, but in the wall. No caution. Still slow, getting back up to speed, the 21 machine. Dropping back spots, he was just running the fringe top 10. Quickly going to jump back and see what happened to him. Maybe contact got him loose there with Bridger Olsen. It looked like he is back rolling and back on the attack there with Justin Rott in a battle for 17th. Front battle is for third. Jaden Porter back to the inside of Michael Kruger as they go side by side through 1 and 2.
One thing that is different with these cars is they can make the outside lane work. We saw Thursday night in the Silver Racing League, most drivers just stayed on the inside all night. But now we see Michael Kruger make that outside lane work.
Yeah, the outside lane with the next-gen cars, you can make a run. And that's what's different with these cars compared to what we see on the Silver Racing League on Thursday nights. You know, you're able to make the outside work with the next-gen. Seeing these guys go to battle, continuing to fight side by side. We're trying to work the top side still on the outside, but he's still hanging on to third place as they make their way down the front straightaway. You see Dylan Parker trying to work by Matthew J. O'Brien for 5th. Porter and Kruger still side by side, and now Dahari and Moreno going to be side by side. Dahari got a good launch down the back straightaway. Can he get to the inside and make it stick? You see Porter kind of running Kruger up high a little bit there through the corner. Porter trying to make the inside work by running him high. Just not quite working, but Dahari on the bottom lane trying to get to the race lead, nosing out ahead of Ethan Fonseca and Moreno as they head down the back.
He's going to need to have a run coming out of 4 if he wants to clear that 29 car.
He's not going to get it at that line that time. Yes, he does. Dahari credited for leading a lap that time. That's a point in his favor. Every point matters here in this race. For these two right now, that's a big boost to Dahari. Moreno slaps the wall too. Dahari back on the inside. Moreno keeps leading these laps. He is continuing to have this laps lead counter go up. And if he can get enough, he can lead the most laps tonight. That's another bonus point his way on top of whatever he scores in the race, which could be a factor in him having a shot, a better shot than what he has right now at winning the title next week in Vegas. Continuing to lead on the outside lane. Gabriel Dahari trying to work the bottom with all he's got. Michael Kruger settles into 3rd. Jaden Porter 4th. Matthew J. O'Brien now in 5th.
They're still side by side.
Yeah, Moreno really he can't get the run that he needs to clear this 36. And on the top of that, Dahari is just so good here on the inside lane. He is making it work perfectly to keep ahead at the line that time of Moreno. But now, sooner or later, he's going to have to think about completely clearing this 29 and trying to set sail.
We now see, oh, Kruger. Got the apron there a little bit. Moreno finally cleared Dahari coming up 4 there.
And you see Porter down to the outside of Michael Kruger once again. Right in the top lane around this 41 machine. Can Porter make it stick and go to third? Oh, he'll hit the wall on the exit of the corner. As they still all chase Ethan Fonseca and Moreno, but Moreno not pulling away from this field. Kruger struggling on the bottom lane, slides sideways. It's going to allow Porter to clear. Here comes O'Brien on the outside trying to battle with him.
Talk about Porter, he needs those points to remain in the hunt for the championship.
Of the viable long shots, he has the best case, 55 points back. These next 2 races, he can still make that ground up, but it's going to take a lot to make that ground up. He has the ability to do it. And right now, running in third, looking at least decent enough to get some points in his favor, but not a ton with Dahari and Moreno right ahead of him. Oh, O'Brien hit the wall. That stacked up Kruger and Parker behind him, who now they go side by side for 5th. Approaching lap number 50 here. Dahari darts down to the inside. I think he might have caught the wall, had to rip it off there for a second. He's able to still get the power down.
Yeah, now he has a bumper full of Jaden Porter. He's going to go to the inside of Moreno here.
Porter going outside. Moreno on the outside. It is Dahari working the bottom lane, trying to get by Moreno. Teammates lined up down the backstretch. Porter blinking out, then back in behind Moreno. Our race leader still as we approach a quarter mark of this race. Moreno still leads. Dahari in second. Here comes Jaden Porter to his outside now for position number 2. Moreno with the last second move to the bottom lane to hold Dahari up. Porter and Dahari now side by side for position number 2.
They'll be approaching the lap car here soon. Dane Cruz.
Dane Cruz, whose playoff hopes have pretty much gone up in smoke now with the 2 incidents he's been involved in tonight after the EOL had sent him to the back of the field. Got the field coming on that damaged number 1 machine. The Cruz missile won the season opener at Daytona. Pointed his way into the playoffs, but unfortunately, 2 races early, he's going to have to settle for not winning the championship. 3 wide they go, entering turn 1. Cruz holding the high side. As you see, Porter might be able to make it work by Dahari. It looks like he does. Porter now clear for second. Now, how hungry is Porter to get up here and try to lead this race?
He's going to go to the outside here.
Peeking a nose on the right rear is the number 28 of Jaden Porter. These top 2, same exact paint scheme. Teammates running together, both within a shot of the championship. Moreno, 28 points back entering tonight. Porter was back 55, but he's still mathematically eligible. He got a good shot, even mathematically eligible, to win this title. The regular season champion looking to see if he can pick up some lost momentum from winning that regular season title and carry it over into these final 2 races of the season. Right now, running in second.
Battle for third. O'Brien to the inside of Dahari there. Dahari will win that fight as Dylan Parker goes by Kruger. Slowly creeping his way to the front of this field is Stephen Maggio in that 51. He has currently scored P7, and he is working on that 41 car, Michael Kruger.
And Maggio trying to keep marching forward here. It's only really 3 spots gained in the total, but he dropped back to 22nd at one point in this race. So just continuing to march back forward, continuing to just pick them off one by one. That's what Maggio's MO has been at these tracks, just to let them come to him. Done so far. Up in 7th. Battle for 3rd, though, happening. Matthew O'Brien on the inside of Gabriel Dahari as they go into turn 3. Oh, Dahari might have caught the wall. O'Brien takes the spot. Dylan Parker lying in wait for this 36, who's starting to slide a little bit backwards here.
We see Porter in second, trying to get the run on the outside, but just can't get there. Now he's going to go to the inside of his teammate.
Had the run, Merlo trying to block it, I think. He's not going to take it here just yet, but he might want to take it sooner rather than later, because that 43 getting bigger in his mirror for Jaden Porter. Matthew Joe O'Brien reeling him in. And if Porter doesn't make the move, O'Brien will.
And he talked about it. Here comes O'Brien to the outside of Porter.
O'Brien trying the top lane on Jaden Porter. Runs a little bit higher there through 3 and 4. But O'Brien's going to get a run down the front stretch maybe here on the exit of turn 4. Not quite. Still on the outside, but not by much as they head down into turn 1.
Right behind. Oh, might have heard some smoke there from the back.
Oh, Michael Kruger! He'll hit the wall. Another car's having trouble in the back. I think it's Jamie Wright. He is slow in the background as well, but Michael Kruger, a bobble in the backstretch, hits the outside wall. He gathers it up, gets it pointed straight, but drops all the way back now to 10th place. Now fighting Ollie Reeves to hang on to that spot. Continues to be now single file as they make their way down the front stretch to complete lap number 64 on to lap 65.
They'll be coming up on the 56 car, your Poco to winner, Oscar Enriquez. Going a lap down.
Yes, they make their way down the front straightaway. Porter again, back to the inside. Here comes that 28 machine, looking to go back to the race lead. Jaden Porter trying his best to get up here and contend for this win. He's had so many races that he feels like just slipped away from him. Only one race he's found victory lane in. It was the race Yusef Ghali, Ethan Fonseca Moreno together at California, got together, wrecked each other coming to the line, and gave Porter the win. He wants his own win, though, his own way. So far has yet to find it, but he has been very, very sporty this season, all season long. Been in contention, just come up short right now, running behind his teammate, just trying to find a way around him and can't quite do it.
So last time by, Dane Cruz still slow. You have to let the peel by there, and now they're going to be fighting here. Oscar Enriquez will just give them the insight.
So as Porter gets by Moreno for the race lead. O'Brien now trying to chase this 29 machine who's starting to drop back quickly from that 28 car.
Well, Moreno in the wall. That's going to allow O'Brien to get to his inside here. Moreno blocked that run.
So they make their way around. You see this tight battle. Second back to sixth, all nose to tail right here as they make their way on the front straightaway. Jaden Porter starting to gap by about a half a second and growing out in clean air. That 28 car is fast. Here comes O'Brien to the inside of Moreno trying to contest second place. Dylan Parker battling Gabriel Dehari, and Steven Maggio puts his name in the picture. That was his hat in the ring for this positional battle. Happiest view of all this is Jaden Porter, seeing this all happen in his rear view mirror now as everybody contests spots 2 through 6.
Side-by-side battle there between Dylan Parker and Dehari.
Steve Maggio front row view and watch this battle happen. Parker takes 4th place from Gabriel Dehari. Now Maggio might try to get up there. Oh, Parker sliding, bobbling down the backstretch, hits the wall. Caution is out. I think it might be Duncan Faw and Brett Bennett. Indeed it is. Over here entering turn 1. How on earth do they wind up tangled up here? Entering turn number 1. Take a look at our BRN replay to see just what happened. Duncan Faw and Brett Bennett to wipe them out together.
Oh my God.
Watching Duncan Faw here. So, oh, he just loses it on the front straightaway. And he goes to get out of the way, and Brett Bennett just nowhere to go. Oh my goodness. We'll ride on board with Brett Bennett and show you what he saw with the Smeal on board. You'll just see it out front of him. There's a car on the outside wall. Brett thinks he might stay, so he'll go try to go low. Actually, I don't even know what in the hell Brett Bennett was doing. It doesn't look like he even reacted until the car was rolling ahead of him.
Just probably want to make the highlight reel.
He just wanted some broadcast time for his parents. Phil and Cammy, I believe.
As we see the battle off pit road, Dehari gains his spot on Moreno, I think.
It's like Moreno scored ahead of Porter, or scored ahead of Dehari, excuse me, Dylan Parker. Oh, did Gabriel Dehari speed on pit road? Yes, he did! Costly mistake for the 36 car, dropping to the rear.
That is huge for Porter.
We'll take a look at the race off pit lane, show you why. See right here, he gasses it up at the last second. That is a penalty on the 36 as he tanks to the rear. Huge blow.
We talked about it in the pre-race show. You cannot make mistakes here, especially with 2 races to go in the championship hunt.
And with a restart coming up, that is huge here too, because he's going to be stuck in the Hornet's nest being out back.
And we know he has a fast car. He probably got definitely a top 5 car at least, but you know, further back, we don't know how his car will handle in that traffic. So it's going to be fortunate. It's really unfortunate for that 36 team being the points leader pre-Richmond. They'll have to sort of adapt their strategy here in the closing 130 something laps here to see how they can get back to the front, but huge mistake for Dehari and the whole team.
Pace car is off. Green flag back in the air. We're back to racing here at Richmond.
Dylan Parker and Moreno side-by-side battle for second.
As they battle side by side behind Porter. Parker trying to take advantage and take this spot, in which he will. He's going to try to go for the race lead here on these fresher tires. Xavier Bascom up on the outside wall. Tyler Watermill gets into it as well, as everybody just trying to navigate these laps early on here in this green flag run on these fresher tires.
And up into the top 5, bring Richard Olsen into the mix. As Dylan Parker way up the racetrack. And Crew in the wall, Ben Bafford's
Oh,
around.
Ben Bafford spins, Kruger in the wall, caution is out again. Bafford gets back rolling, but that's going to bring out the yellow flag once more here at the short track at Richmond. Take a look back at Tribune replay, show you what happened. Kruger gets loose, slams the outside wall right there. At the same time, Bafford just loses it by himself. On the exit of turn 2, you see Dahari having to take evasive action to miss that spinning car ahead of him because he is out back. He is in a very particular position. As they continue to pace here under caution once more at this racetrack. Ready to go double file here maybe next time by to get us ready to go back under the green flag. A lot more drivers dropping out of this race. It's going to pretty much lead to a elimination of a lot of drivers from the championship hopes they had entering tonight's race. As they run right now, though, here's how it shakes out. Unofficially, Matthew J. O'Brien would assume the points lead as they run right now. He scored in 4th. Dahari scored back in 11th. It would be a 6-point gap between the two. Ethan Fonseca Moreno would exit tonight's race 12 points back of that championship lead. He's currently scored in 2nd. And your race leader, Jaden Porter, he is 34 points back as they run right now, so he would still mathematically be eligible for this championship. It would eliminate Maggio, Jurgensmeyer, Dane Cruz, Jeffrey Armistead, and Justin Rott from their championship hopes. But hey, we still got a lot of racing to go, not even at the halfway point yet at this race. Coming to lap number 86, we go back green. So the field gets ready to go back racing. It is teammates lining up in the front row. Don't mix them up. Jaden Porter on the bottom, Ethan Fonseca Moreno on the top. These two 3rd and 4th in points entering tonight's race, looking to see if they can make a shot at the top 2 spots. Green flag back in the air, back racing here at Richmond. Everybody makes it cleanly off of turn number 2 this time by, heading down into turn 3. Jaden Porter still leads over Moreno. Dylan Parker giving chase in 3rd. O'Brien and Maggio side by side for position number 4 as they head down into turn number 1 once more. It's Amir Bascombe right there. Just shot up in the outside lane. I think I missed the corner. He's back in 10th right now, trying the outside lane. Jamie Wright right there ahead of him in 9th. A good recovery for the 89 car. Ali Reeves up here in the picture as well. You see, it's still in Parker diving to the bottom, then back into position as Maggio tries to make the move on him. Rich Olson, the lone car right now, working the top side as they make their way off of turn number 4. Jaden Porter, though, out front still leading this field as they make their way back towards turn number 1. Parker side by side with Maggio. This is for 3rd. Maggio trying to do everything he can to keep his championship hopes alive, but time is pretty much running out for this 51 machine if he wants a shot at this title. In the background, you see Doring almost there as Ali Reeves and Jonathan Jurgensmeyer heading down the back straightaway. Those two battling for position number 7. Now it's down to 8th as Jamie Wright works the outside lane of Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. And just behind them is the 31 of Gabriel Dahari. Points leader entering tonight's race. Shuffled back due to a pit road penalty. He's trying to just take his time with this. Got a lot of racing left to go. Don't need to push too hard too early and wipe yourself out of it.
The good thing for Dahari is he's still got a lot of time left in this race. More than 100 laps, more than half of the race to get back to the front.
And he obviously doesn't need to push either. I mean, right now, where we're at, if this goes a long green run to the end, if he just kind of saves his stuff, takes his time, has no problems, he'll have a shot at making it work at the end. Right now, he's got a battle, though. Michael Kruger to go by. He's going to let him go by. Not going to put up a fight. Michael Kruger goes by to position number 11. Gabriel Dahari just kind of content riding for now where he's at, not trying to push too hard, risk taking himself out of it.
Side-by-side battle for 7th, Ali Reeves and Jamie Wright. Jamie a little bit up the racetrack, but they're still clean as they come on board. Porter continues to lead here at Richmond, running lap 99 out of 200. Slowly pulling away from that 29 car Moreno. a little bit of through the field. Dylan Parker in third. We talked about him. Winless this season so far. Did not make the chase or the playoffs or however you want to call it. So really just wanted to finish this season with some good results and head into season 15 with new beginnings and try to hopefully win another championship there. Stephen Maggio talked about him winning Bristol in the last lap pass. Moreno won also at California last Tuesday, so to really keep those championship hopes alive, he's going to need those top two, and O'Brien currently far behind him to have issues. And talking about O'Brien, he's one of the most consistent drivers here in this league, and this season he's shown that finishing top 10, top 5, top 3s, and even wins. We looked at his win at Darlington a couple of weeks ago, being chased by Moreno in the closing laps with O'Brien on older tires. That was a pretty monumental win for O'Brien. So he's still in the championship hunt. He's one of the big 3 so far that we've talked about tonight. So he's gonna have a great position if he can finish this one right where he is. Right behind him, P6, Richard Olsen, and he's come close since his last win here in the Slide Job Racing League. Just hasn't been able to seal the deal and get that victory here in season 14. So really looking forward for season 15 and what Richard Olsen can do there. Jamie Riley in 7th. Dawson talked about him at the beginning of the race. Short tracks being strong suit, and just really looking forward to him. And he didn't race for the majority of the season. Just came back in these last couple of races. Ran at Daytona, I think. So really excited to see what Jamie can do here at Richmond and how he can finish this race, possibly with a top 5 finish. Ollie Reeves in P8. He was fighting for that win at California last Tuesday. Unfortunately for him, a couple of issues there at the end. Slid back to about P8 or P10, if I remember correctly. Stephen Maggio just scooted away to victory in that one. But still a really good performance by that 13 crew. Right behind him, Mike Kruger. And Kruger did not make the playoffs, but has had a consistent, solid stretch here in the past couple of races. And really shows that he belongs in this league. And of course, now running in the top 10. He had a problem earlier in the race, hit the wall. Still so far battling here inside of the top 10. And rounding up here through the field, currently in the top 10, making that final spot, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. Saw him in the photo finish at Pocono a couple of weeks ago. Not really a championship threat anymore. Now that Porter and Moreno and O'Brien are still there. So just finishing off the season strong for Jurgensmeyer and heading into season 15, looking to make the chase again. So a lot of faces here in the top 10.
Got a lot of different stories too. A lot of guys that are in this top 10 just running for the race win. Then the other guys that are either fighting for their lives to hold themselves in for the championship, or at the very least to put themselves ahead. We mentioned you got back to 10th place. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer 2 spots back. In 12th place is Gabriel Dahari, trying to get on the offensive now, getting inside of Amir Bascombe for 11th place. 36 maybe is done waiting around, is ready to start pushing. He's going to the inside on the attack for this position number 11. Excuse me. Dahari really needs to get going, though. He needs to get moving. This field has kind of gotten spaced out a little bit here. There's a bit of a gap built between a couple cars. Jurgensmeyer and Ollie Reeves have a gap, and then there's a gap between Bridger Olsen and Jamie Wright, which would be 6th and 7th. So there is space in between this field. He needs to get going ASAP, because I don't know if we're going to have another pit stop or not. If we do, he's really at the mercy of that pit stop. Close battle going right now, though, is for 3rd. Maggio putting pressure on Dylan Parker for this spot.
saw Porter pulling away there a little bit right around when we began the through the fields section. So far, he has not been able to continue that. Moreno has closed in on that 28 car, but not really within striking distance. So we saw Maggio head to the outside there to try to get a run, couldn't. Dylan Parker maintains that position as they head through turns 3 and 4.
Gabriel DeHari trying to make moves. On the back bumper, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer and Michael Kruger. They're side by side ahead of him. He is in the outside lane trying to make it work. Just can't quite make it stick. He'll cut back to the inside of Jurgensmeyer in that battle for what will be 10th.
Thought about making it 3 wide there for split second. As we still see Kruger maybe dealing with some of those handling issues he had earlier when he hit the wall. And as we, now Tahari's just going to go to the inside and clear him going into turn 1.
DeHari up to 9th, but he has still got a long road ahead of him. 6 seconds back of Ollie Reeves, who trails Jamie Wright by about a half a second, who then trails Bridger Olsen by another just about 2 seconds. So DeHari's got a long road ahead of him to try to get some more spots to pick up some more points. Out front, Jaden Porter continuing to lead laps, continuing to gain more points, preferably for this 28 team, to try to get towards that championship battle to put himself one step closer.
Yeah, you talked about him earlier. Jaden Porter's not had a pretty good chase up to this point. You talked about a 14th place finish last week at California. And really having to do well here today. Well, he's doing exactly what he needs to do, leading laps, setting fast laps, and pulling away now as we see Dane going 6 laps down in that one car.
If Porter can get the bonus point for most laps led and the race ends right now where they're running, here's how it splits. Gabriel DeHari would have a 1-point lead over Matthew J. O'Brien heading into next week at Vegas. Ethan Fonseca Moreno would find himself 10 points back of the points lead, and Jaden Porter would still be a long shot, but he would only be back 31 points when we come to the green flag at Las Vegas next week. But the battle is on for second place. Dylan Parker putting pressure on this number 29 of Ethan Fonseca Moreno. And we'll see if this 3 car can maybe make a charge and take over second place. With just 80 laps to go, coming to 79 to go this time by.
So we see Dylan to the outside there. He's been using some weird line on the outside there a couple of times already. So didn't really work out for him. He lost ground to Moreno there. So Dylan Parker just experimenting with the racing line.
Trying to see what he can maybe do. Maybe see if he can make a pass work. See if he can get better runs off the corners. Anything he can do right now, because he's not gaining on the leader. Just a matter of just experimenting for now, seeing what you can do. And also, too, just in prep for if we get a late race yellow for some reason, as Moreno bobbles off of 2. Whoa. If we get a late race yellow, we get a restart. We have a short run to this finish. Dylan's experimenting, trying to see what might be able to work. What advantage can he have as he gets a little loose off of 4? What can he do to try and get the race win? He's not here to race for points. He's not here to play nice. He's here to win the race. And that's Dylan's MO, and that's what it always will be. He wants to win. And so that's what his goal is tonight, is to come into this racetrack and to take home the checkered flag. And right now, he's experimenting with ways maybe he can try to get better runs off the corner, better runs, in a short run. Just what can work to make Dylan Parker have a chance to win. And so we're going to see him experimenting a little bit throughout the rest of this race. If we get a late race yellow, he'll have a shot at it. We'll see what happens.
Already been a big week for Dylan Parker. Announced that his team, Peak Performance Motorsports, will be back for season 15 of his live shot racing league. So just out here trying to get wins in these final 2 races. We talked about him being winless this season, not having the season he definitely wanted to have. Of course, missed the chase, so he just concentrated on season 15 and what will he be able to do next season. Talked about the gap between Dahari and Reeves. Now Dahari all the way to the back bumper of Reeves now, trying to make the move for P8.
Reeves way up the racetrack as Dahari going to go by on the inside lane. Reason we tried to get a run down the backstretch, couldn't do it, so Dahari takes over position number 8, another spot for the 36, which he needs these late in this race. Just needs to keep picking up more spots if he can to try and put himself in a position to enter next week in control of this championship battle.
Jaden Porter will be coming up to 2 lap cars. Tyler Watermole and Oscar Enriquez. We'll have to take a look at how he manages these 2 cars.
We're out to almost a second lead now. And this is coming at just the right time for this 28 team. This good run coming. Just needs to manage this race. Another 70 laps to go, and we hit the stripe 69 to go this next time by.
Yeah, about a 10th faster than Moreno that last time by, so really picking up the pace now. A little bit of separation between Parker and Steven Maggio, who is currently in 4th. We're currently getting these kind of little packs, as you could say, of maybe 2-3 cars around the racetrack. This Parker almost tried to send it there to the inside of Moreno, couldn't do it. Oh, little contact!
Oh!
Moreno in the wall!
Big hit to the outside wall. Moreno losing a ton of spots here. Big damage, I think, maybe to the 29. He's got the right front pushed in. That's a good hit to the outside wall. Moreno does not have any kind of meatball or anything. It looks like he's still able to go, but the spots drop back to 5th. Just a big blow quickly here to Moreno. If he's got any damage that might affect the handling too, he might drop here as this race goes on.
And we talked about it earlier, you know, Dylan Parker being an aggressive driver, but Moreno being in this championship hunt, that we said that Moreno needed to have a good day. 28 points before this race even began, so that's a really, really, really big hit for Moreno this late in the race. Further back, Dahari already clear of right now, chasing down Bridger Olsen in that 2 car.
And not too far behind, under a second and still gaining. He was 2/10 faster last time by than Olsen, so that's going to be another spot Dahari can pick up here. And we'll see how Moreno keeps a hold of this car. If he can hang on to it, that's another, car running ahead.
Dane Cruz, the racetrack, giving that spot away. Moreno still losing time to O'Brien, and the championship slowly slipping away from Moreno, but it's not over yet. Still got less than 60 laps to go in this race. So anything can happen. As we see Dylan Parker come to pit road.
So we likely will see pit stops out of this race tonight. And it starts with Dylan Parker coming to pit lane.
Moreno now on a pit lane.
Yeah, so pit stops happening here. We'll see how it all shakes out.
Porter currently still on the racetrack.
Porter, Maggio, O'Brien stay out. Dahari in fourth now, just past Bridger Olson. Interesting to see.
Oh, Kruger around on the front stretch.
In the grass, he'll take the jump, but he's in the inside wall off the racing surface, so it likely not going to draw a caution. He'll get back on the racetrack, but he'll be sliding sideways with the grass that he just went through on his tires.
And there was some contact there from Dylan Parker, and I was just gonna say that Dylan Parker was beaten by Moreno off pit road. So Dylan Parker now in a big pack here with a lot of cars, and Moreno already clear of all of them.
Yeah, Moreno had a quicker stop. I think Moreno might have only taken 2 tires, while Dylan took 4. You see there, Mikey already loose. Dylan just helped finish the job, helped finish turning him around. So different strategies between these two drivers as Dylan's going to keep pushing like crazy. Dane Cruz in the wall in the background. But Dylan is going to push hard, and he's going to see if he can track down that 29 machine just up ahead. And mention Moreno a 9.4 second stop compared to a 14.3 for Dylan. So 2 tires compared to 4 between those two drivers is the difference that is made. We're coming up on just 51 to go. Ali Reeves and Amir Bascom are now on pit lane. As is Dane Cruz, multiple laps down in 18th place.
The leader, Jaden Porter, still out on the racetrack. So he's probably on the alternate side of this strategy.
Dylan Parker getting by Jamie Wright. That is 6th place on the racetrack. Don't know if he's got anybody between him and Moreno on the racetrack right now. He does have one, I think. Moreno goes by the 36 of Gabriel Dahari. Jolson bobbling there, heading into turn number 3. And Dahari diving off for pit lane, as did Matthew J. O'Brien, as does Jamie Wright. So our race leader, Jaden Porter, staying out right now. He might be pitting this time. Not quite yet, but he'll have a lot of guys that are on fresher tires in that half pit coming around him.
We've seen this multiple times, you know, drivers pitting early, try to get the advantage on the early side of the run, and others just looking for having the fastest car on the ending side of the run. The final couple laps of this race, if it goes green, that is. We can still see a caution here or there at some point that might shake things up.
Now I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know if I like this decision that was made. As Andres Enriquez had an issue on the front stretch. I don't know if I like this decision that's been made by some of these drivers, the calls they have made. I don't know if it's going to work. You know, a guy like Jaden Porter right now taking this risk and running long, this might cost him a chance of the win unless he's going to go fuel only, splash the fuel and go. And if he can stay ahead of those drivers, that's the only way it works.
Yeah, and the other driver taking that strategy right now, Steven Maggio in 51, just got passed by the 29 of Moreno.
He's going to have to make...
Yeah, of course, Moreno a lap down, so not really poor position there.
Yeah, he's a lap down, but here's the issue. A lap down, it's only about a 22-second gap. You're going to take 34 seconds on pit road if you make it nice and easy down pit lane and get the quick stop that you need. 34.2 is how long Moreno's on pit road for a 9.4-second stop. That was to fill it up with fuel and to take 2 tires. Jaden Porter is going to lose out on this battle because he's going to take too long to pit, and it's going to cost him this race win, I think. I don't know if... Oh, caution is out! It's Bridger Olsen around! Throw everything we just said out the window because that traps everybody a lap down.
That's the caution that Moreno and Parker did not want.
Porter, Maggio, Rott, Kruger, Armistead are all going to benefit from that yellow flag. Take a look at what happened. Entering turn 1, Olsen and Wright side by side. And Olsen just gets loose, overcorrects, and slams the outside wall hard.
We talked about Bridger Olsen having a good run there, running inside of the top 10. Just gets loose.
It just come off pit lane.
Yeah, on the outside of Wright and head on into that outside wall. He is out of this one.
I don't think there was any net code. They weren't making contact, so I don't think there was any net code. But whatever happens, it takes the 2 machine out of this race. But like I mentioned, the big blow for everybody. Porter, Maggio, Rott, Kruger, Armistead, the top 5 that all stayed out, they get to pit consequences free. They will get to make their stop. Porter can slide through his stall, get back at his stall, and likely still win the race off pit road. You've got Ethan Fonseca Moreno, who was the lucky dog, and then everybody after that, Dylan Parker, Jacob Locklear, Oscar Enriquez, Gabriel Dehari, Matthew J. O'Brien, and so on. They all have to take a wave around. They are not able to take, a pit stop again. So the fresher tires are going to go on these guys. They're going to be starting up front anyways. So Porter easily wins the race over Steven Maggio. You got Justin Rott, who will roll off 3rd. Michael Kruger and Jeffrey Armistead will be rolling off 4th and 5th. They have all the time in the world they have to make this pit stop. And the other benefactor, of course, Ethan Fonseca Moreno. He is the lucky dog, so he can make another pit stop, top off on fuel, maybe take tires if he wants to. But that's how things shake up. So just a crazy turn of events there. With that caution coming out when it did, it really throws a wrench into a lot of guys' plans.
And Moreno had to pit there because he talked about him. He only took 2 tires, so he was going to be on the losing end anyways.
Ethan likely figured, why not go for 4?
Well, this is going to set up for what would be a run to the end with less than 40 laps to go. So it's going to be interesting to see. And now you don't have to save much tire for the end of the race. So it's going to be an all-out fight here to get this win here.
Hey, look at what's at stake, how this is shifted on its head. Justin Rott, he's been buried out in the back of this field this entire race. The caution comes out at the right time. He finds himself 3rd. Entering this restart, Jeffrey Armistead. He's had a lot of incidents, a lot of issues tonight. He got in the wall. He's had just a lot of problems getting that car fixed. He's running top 5 because of this. Ethan Fonseca Moreno, it looks like, is going to end up dropping all the way to the tail end because he decided to come down pit road again and top off on fuel. So he is going to go to the tail end of the field, not just the tail end of the cars that were, ahead on the lead lap, where he would have lined up 6th to start. Now he lines up back in 15th place for this restart. Really shakes things up. Green flag is out. The field was not caught up, and that is a massive blow.
Only 5 cars actually took the restart. Amir Bascom joined them right on that restart zone.
Bascom, though, is currently trapped 1 lap down. Dylan Parker further back. He's trying to get up there. 3 wide situation there. Ollie Reeves Jamie Wright and Tyler Waterman, but they get it sorted out quickly. Delhari trying to battle as is Jacob Locklear on the inside lane, letting them go. Battle for position. Delhari and O'Brien need to mix it up between these two. O'Brien needs this spot. He's going to get to the inside and try to go for it. And O'Brien will take it. 4 tires compared to the 2 that Delhari took. He'll power by. Out in front, Maggio in second. Rott is third. Armistead and Kruger battle it out for 4th place. And then they have a gap back to Dylan Parker, who is all by himself in 6th.
Oh, run around!
He saved it! How on earth did he save that thing? What a save by Justin Rott to keep that car pointed straight, keep a caution from coming out, but look out in front. The battle for the lead heating up. Here comes Stephen Maggio. One of the longer shots, needing a miracle tonight to be able to race for a championship next week. It's likely going to come up short, but he did not go out without swinging. A fight to the end. Back to the inside. Couldn't get there. Maggio wants this race win.
He's going to use that outside lane. Try to get a run there coming out of 2. Possibly set up a big lunge to the inside as a hit into turn 3.
As they continue to work. Live points as they run would see Delhari leading by 8. Porter and Moreno would be tied down 34, not counting any bonus points. Maggio, 60 back, and he's going to the inside for the lead. If Maggio wins this race, he would still be mathematically eligible for the title next week. And here he goes for the race lead.
Ooh, a little contact there.
Sideways, still inside, can't get it to work. This scheme that Stephen Maggio running right now, that 51 car adorned with the colors that Carl Edwards drove at this very racetrack in 2016. How did he win that race? A last lap bump to the race leader Kyle Busch to give him the win. Could Maggio pull the same? Meanwhile, out back, Rott gets passed by O'Brien. Another issue for the 76, but he keeps it pointed in the right direction. 31 laps coming to 30 to go this next time by. It's still a tight battle for the lead, but don't look now. 3rd place Michael Kruger is coming.
Maggio still trying to generate a run there to the outside now.
He'll go to the top side, try to make it work. Can't get the run there. He'll go to the bottom side, try to cross him over, entering turn 3. Porter blocks. Maggio back to the top, backs back out of it. He'll set back up for another pass later on. Lap traffic up ahead. That's Tyler Watermoon in the 68, Jacob Locklear in the 84.
Oh. Really tight there for Porter, trying to get past Watermolen.
Watermolen up in the wall to stay out of harm's way. Michael Kruger reeling in this battle for the race lead. Michael Kruger has never won in the Slide Job Racing League. Could tonight be his night? More issues. Justin Rott into the inside wall in the backstretch. No caution is out. He is slow rolling back on the racetrack. Drops back to 11th place now as he continues to fade in the late goings of this race. Stephen Maggio giving it his all. He has to do so if he wants a chance at the championship. It's there. The door is open for him to make it into next week's race at Las Vegas with a shot at the title. He just has to get up there and take it, and that's what he's trying to do now, coming up on 26 laps to go here at Richmond.
Jacob Locklear out of the way for these two to fight it out.
Michael Kruger going to go by as well, but he's starting to drop a little bit further back from this battle. So it's back to a 2-horse race. Maggio rolling back up on the back bumper of Jaden Porter, giving another go at it. 25 laps of racing left here in Virginia. Both of these drivers, their last wins came at Auto Club. For Steven Maggio, it was just a week ago. He was able to take the win late in the goings for his second win of the season, his third career win. As he tries the outside, he's going to try to cross it over on Jaden Porter, who has just one win to his name back 2 seasons ago at Auto Club. A chaotic last lap. We could see the same build again tonight. Maggio trying so desperately to get to the inside. Porter continues to close the door.
Dane Cruz is right there.
Maggio trying to run on the outside, can't quite get it to stick. He'll back off and reset for the run coming on the back straightaway. Everybody out of the way. Enriquez hits the wall. Dane Cruz in the bag of him. Trying to stay out of the way of the leaders. He instead takes himself and Dane Cruz into the wall. Just trying to stay respectful for the race leaders. Ethan Fonseca Moreno has gotten up to 8th place. He is trying to catch Gabriel Dahari, who has dropped back from Dylan Parker. Matthew J. O'Brien right now finds himself in 5th, so the championship battle is going to be tight heading into the finale next week.
Maggio gonna generate another run here. Big run coming out too.
He's going to get to the inside. Porter going to close the door.
Whoa.
Maggio's there. Here comes Steven Maggio. Oh, they make contact. Maggio saves it. No, caution's out. And Porter's around. Jaden Porter wrecking in the front stretch.
Oh!
Chaos in the late goings of this race. And just like that, everything turned back upside down.
There was contact with Kruger.
We're going to have to go to the BRN replay to sort this all out with less than 20 laps to go. It hits the fan. So we'll start showing you what happened with Maggio and Porter. Maggio gets to the inside, slides up, they make contact. Maggio slides. He's somehow, some way able to save it. I don't know how he did, but he does. But up in front at the same time, Porter gets tagged. And as he's trying to save it, gets loose again, slides up into Michael Kruger, puts Kruger in the wall, and Kruger ends up getting into the back of that 28 machine and spinning him out on the front stretch. We'll take a ride with Michael Kruger and see what he saw from this entire previous lap. See right here, Porter's trying to save it, just trying to stay ahead of Kruger. And then make contact with Kruger trying to the outside. The caution hadn't come out yet. Caution came out, I believe, for the incident with Kruger and Porter. Maggio was able to get pointed in the right direction and keep going straight, so I do believe the caution came because of the incident with the 41 and the 28. You'll see again here, showing one more look at it with Porter and with Kruger. What happens here? What transpires? The contact there, and like I said, there's no caution yet. Porter trying to save it, Kruger to the outside, and there you see the contact made. Caution actually was out before that, but it looked like they were still racing hard to the finish. So that changes everything in this field. How they line up now, it's Dylan Parker as your race leader. Matthew J. O'Brien now finds himself in second, and Gabriel Dahari and Ethan Fonseca Moreno are right behind him, third and fourth. They qualified first, second, fourth, and fifth. They run 1, 2, 3, 4 as it stands right now. Hoo boy.
What an exciting turn of events here to wrap things up there with the incident. Maggio Of course, was blocked there by Porter multiple times. Maggio just had enough of it, took the run anyways to the inside and just sent it way too deep in their corner, made contact. And I thought Maggio was going to be in the barrels there for a sec. What a save for him.
As things run right now, here's how they shake up. Tahari is your points leader by 7 over Matthew O'Brien. Ethan Fonseca Moreno finds himself 31 points back. This finish right here would eliminate Jaden Porter, mathematically 71 back. We'll get this graphic off the screen. Green flag.
And O'Brien bring the field back to green.
Parker leads. O'Brien in second. They mentioned it's now going to be about a 3-horse race with the way they're running. O'Brien, Tahari, Moreno looking to settle amongst themselves. Tahari sliding! He'll save it. He'll keep it off the inside wall, but he'll drop back to the back of this field again. Back up front, a lot of guys pushing hard with 15 laps to go. O'Brien sees the win and the points lead ahead of him as Dylan Parker takes control of this race. Maggio's around in the background. Caution back out. What seemed like a golden opportunity for Maggio to give himself one final shot at the title has now, over the course of 2 cautions, likely ended his championship aspirations. Take a look at your BRN replay and show you what happened to Steven Maggio as he entered the corner. Entering turn 1, it looks like he just gets loose, gets in too hot, back end steps out, he saves it, but then loses it. Simple slide, but that'll put us back under the yellow flag here at Richmond. Maggio went from running second, chasing down the race leader, to now being scored 13th, the last car on the lead lap. Okay, so as we get ready for another late race restart, Enrique, it has been chaotic. And we are looking for just how this race is just flip-flop back and forth so many times. So many things have changed, and we still are going to have about 10 laps to go in this restart.
Yeah, we got a mix of playoff and non-playoff drivers here at the front. How about Jamie right there into the top 5? We talked about him, the short track skills, really putting them to display here today, having running top 5.
And he's had to fight back through so many different instances that have tried to take him out of this race and out of contention. Jamie Wright showing why he is always good here. He's got a shot, and that's crazy. Just to think that Jamie Wright has a shot once again here on the short tracks. It's his bread and butter. This is his style of racing. So he's got a shot late here. He's going to go through 3 of the best drivers in this league so far this season. And we have, of course, the all-time Dylan Parker, the all-time leader in wins here in Slide Job Racing League history. We're going to talk about a guy who's won a lot. How about 34 wins, looking for career win 35. Matthew O'Brien trying to take the points lead, entering next week at Las Vegas. He finds himself in second. And Ethan Fonseca Moreno in third, looking for back-to-back titles if he can get so here next week. He's looking to put himself in a good position to do so at the end of tonight's race.
With 10 laps to go, these drivers are going to give it all.
It's do or die for everybody in this field to win this race. 10 laps of action left in Virginia. Thank you, Robert Lukens. 200 going to come down to a 10-lap shootout, possibly. Pace Shark dives off for possibly the last time. Dylan Parker, Matthew J. O'Brien through the Geico restart zone and back to green. Porter spins the tires in the background on the bottom lane. Side by side for second. Here comes Jamie Wright. Everybody trying to sort themselves out. Jamie Wright has cleared for second. Can the 89 car muscle his way to the race lead? 9 to go. Dylan Parker controls this race. Oh no! We jinxed him! Jamie Wright slides into the grass, keeps it pointed in the right direction. There will be no caution, but he'll drop to 14th, way back in the back of this field. As Dylan Parker now, no challenge out back for now, coming to 8 laps to go. O'Brien gonna try to run him down.
Dylan Parker 8 laps away from his first win since, I believe, Darlington in season 13.
Dahari and Porter both going inside 3 wide, trying to pick up spots here in the late goings of this race. Dahari up to 6th, Porter in tow, trying to get to position 7 if he can get by Ollie Reeves. Dylan Parker scooting away with this race lead. You mentioned Darlington last season was the last time that he found victory lane in this number 3 machine. And he's trying to do so again tonight with 6 laps in front of him and a gap ahead of Matthew J. O'Brien that continues to grow. It's exactly what Dylan Parker needs. Moreno in 3rd. How about Jeffrey Armistead and Michael Kruger? Both having long, rough nights. They're able to run top 5 right now, but Gabriel Dahari is in pursuit of position 5 with Jaden Porter in tow as well. Porter's championship hopes rely on a last-second surge here. Same with Stephen Maggio, who's back up to 8th, but he's running out of time. Dylan Parker out in front and continuing to pull away. Coming to 4 laps to go next time. By Michael Kruger spinning!
Kruger!
Saves it! Saves it, keeps it off everybody else. That spots lost for the 41, spots gained for the 36, the 28, and the 51. 4 to go. Mean Lean 3 machine. The winningest driver in STRL history. Finds himself 3 laps away from win number 35 on his career. But O'Brien is making a slight charge. Does he have enough in him to catch this 3 machine? Coming to 2 to go.
10.5 after that last. Oh, caution is out!
Jurgensmeyer's around. Michael Kruger was involved. And just like that, wipe it off the board. We're going into overtime. Jurgensmeyer involved in another caution here. I think it was Michael Kruger, maybe on the inside lane. Might have slid up into the 00. Bad to worse for Michael Kruger. He had a shot at it, was running 3rd, and there you see contact made between the 2 on the backstretch. And that spins Jurgensmeyer out. Just take a quick look back. Different angle here, you'll see it. Kruger just comes with the track, gets the 00, and that spins around. Jurgensmeyer goes for a spin down the backstretch. Gets from anybody else hitting him, but still. That puts us under the caution once more, but the big blow is we will have another restart.
We've seen throughout the night, Dylan Parker fires up really well on the restarts. So if he can get another one for those big jumps on O'Brien, he's got this race locked up.
But don't count out O'Brien not getting a good. He can get a good launch with that 3 machine, I think. It's just a matter of this restart getting that big launch at the end to push himself to be side by side, if not maybe trying to get ahead of Dylan on that final restart, what could be the final restart of this race.
We were watching there sort of a turnover point on Parker and O'Brien. Saw Parker pull away there those first couple laps, and then O'Brien just started going faster than Parker and catching him, but all that, a race right here with his caution. Well, Dawson, we've seen it all tonight. Long green flag run there with Porter. Then the big contact with Maggio and Porter. And then Porter getting turned by Kruger. We've seen multiple incidents throughout this race. A lot of chase drivers getting involved. Points going up and down in all directions. But we still got a lot to come here. Still a lot of racing here on BRN this week, of course. Sofa Racing League around the turn on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll be there for Homestead and New Atlanta, a whole new format, which we will explain on Thursday night. It's going to be really interesting to see how that one progresses.
Yeah, we'll explain that on Thursday when we get there. 2 different racetracks, timed races. It's a double header before an off week next week for Memorial Day weekend for them. Of course, the SJRL Championship race next Tuesday at Las Vegas. Here's how it shakes out. Gable Dahari has a 1-point lead over Matthew J. O'Brien. Moreno is back 22. Porter back 58, the last car mathematically eligible to win the title. Maggio right now sits 81 points back, the first car out. A long, hard-fought charge just coming up short at the end for Maggio. It's overtime here in the City for Lovers. Dylan Parker will mash the gas back to green. 2 laps to go here in Richmond. All he's got to do is not look back and not get a yellow flag before the end of this race. But O'Brien trying to make a charge. Moreno maybe trying to make a charge as they head into turn 3.
Porter to the outside, trying to make a last lap pass. Red flag is out.
1 more lap. We're going to make it to the end of this race. Oh, Dahari spinning! Sliding, they save it, but Dahari dropping spots like crazy. Out front, Porter losing spots as well. They're all stacking up in the back of the field, but out front, Dylan Parker. Welcome back to victory lane. 35 career wins for the 3 machine. He takes the win here at Richmond. Wrecking across the line.
Oh, welcome back, Dylan Parker.
Michael Kruger slid across the line. It's a parking lot over in turn 1, but Dylan Parker wins here in Richmond. There's Dane Cruz, teammate, making contact with the 3 machine as he celebrates here in victory lane.
One driver that's certainly not going to be happy with the race, the way that race ended. Gable Dahari down to 14 here at Richmond, so it's going to be really interesting to take a look at the points here in just a sec.
And as Parker celebrates, we'll take a look back at that last lap turn of events. What happened to Gabriel Dahari in that 36 machine to set him take a look back here. This is the white flag lap. Contact with Porter and Armistead. Sends both of them sideways. As they make their way around the corner, Dahari just stuck in traffic, could not get moving. Everybody just struggling around him. Up ahead, Michael Kruger and Ollie Reeves battling it out for the top 5 spot. As they come off of turn 4, Kruger slides up and they make contact. Kruger is able to take home position 5 at the end of this race. All the craziness from this last lap turn of events. So we'll take a look at your finishing results here. Dylan Parker takes home his 35th career win here in the Slide Job Racing League with a win in Richmond. Matthew J. O'Brien should assume the points lead for taking home 2nd place. Ethan Fonseca Moreno will finish tonight's race in 3rd. 4th place goes to Stephen Maggio, who tried desperately to get up there at the end of this, just couldn't quite do it. He is likely going to go home empty-handed out of tonight's race. And likely eliminated from championship contention. Michael Kruger, we mentioned, finishing 5th over Ollie Reeves. Jamie Wright finishing 7th. Oscar Enriquez 8th, and Justin Rott 9th. And Jeffrey Armistead rounding out your top 10.
Dana Porter gave it his all. I think he led the most laps, finishes 11th. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer in 12th. Amir Bascom in 13th. Gabriel Dahari, a little bit of a danger zone heading into Vegas next week, 14th. Last car on the late lap, Tyler Watermullen. We talked about his recent Richmond success. 15th, Jake Locklear for first car 1 lap down. 16th, Dane Cruz, terrible night for him. 17th, Bridger Olson 18th, Derek Newsom 19th, and Blaine Sparling, all those 3 last cars out of the race. He finishes in 20th.
21st goes to Caden Atkins. Ben Badford scored 22nd. Then it was Brett Bennett scored 23rd over Duncan Fall. They were kind of together right there, same time they left the race. Michael Walls finishing 25th. Then it was Matt Steiner 26th. Francis Hamilton in 27th. 28th goes to Chris Downey. 29th place goes to Yusef Ghali. Then 3 drivers did not start tonight's race were Connor Zola, Fidel Fabian, and Nick Donati. They are scored 30th, 31st, and 32nd. So, as we get ready to talk to our top 3 finishers, quick points update. This is all unofficial as they stand after the finish of tonight's race. Here's where it shakes out. Matthew J. O'Brien is your points leader after tonight's race. He leaves with a 12-point lead now over Gabriel Dahari, which is a very healthy lead, I would say, in this league entering next week. It's a much better lead than what it could have been with the 1 point that it was kind of swinging towards at some points in this race. A 12-point lead. I can't say O'Brien would really complain too much about having at least a buffer entering next week at Las Vegas. Ethan Fonseca Moreno finds himself 21 points back of this championship lead. He has still got a very good shot at winning this. It won't take a lot. We saw what happened with Dahari tonight, so it won't take a lot, but it could still very much happen for Moreno. But after that, everybody else mathematically eliminated from this one. Jaden Porter finishing right now 67 points back after that finish at the end. He was running in the top 5, had a shot at it, ends up getting knocked back to 11th. That's going to take him out of contention. 67 points out. Steven Maggio, 72 points out. A hard-fought drive here these last couple races to try and put himself in position. He comes up just short of his goals. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, 87 points back. Jeffrey Armistead back 97. Then it was Justin Rott, Dane Cruz, then Francisco Bacayo, and James Bomar is how they will shake out. Dane Cruz eliminated as well after finishing all the way back in 17th place tonight. He gets ahead of Armistead in the points, so that bumps him up to, I believe that's 7th place. But 7th place isn't good enough. He's still eliminated from the playoff contention. So it's down to 3 drivers. We enter next week's race as the BRN replay still popped up. Thank you, Ryan Bogey, for setting up the hotkey for that to pop up with a certain keystroke. So we'll see if we can get a hold of our top 3 finishers from tonight's race. First, we'll start off with Ethan Fonseca Moreno. See if we can get a hold of the driver of the 29 car. Hey, Ethan Fonseca Moreno, it's tossing down in the booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Alrighty, well, it's a 3rd place run for you here tonight. A chaotic night for just about everybody in this field, but the most important fact for you is exiting tonight's race, you still have a good shot at the championship. What was that race like behind the wheel of the 29 car?
Honestly, just going into it, honestly, I didn't really have much confidence going into it because this is probably like, I don't know, one of my top 3 worst tracks here. So, but just trying to learn it and all that. But it was nice to lead some laps there at the start of it, and then kind of just got caught behind my teammate there, so nothing much I could really done there. But good long runs there, solid run. Just kind of got chaotic there at the end, kind of all over the place for positions and all that. But was able to recover for a P3. I'm not sure if I have a actual legitimate shot at it next week, but gonna have to hope for something big to happen.
The math we're showing unofficially, you're 21 points back, which for the scoring that we have in this league is still very much alive in it. You have a very decent shot at it. We saw a big swing come out of that with what happened with Gabriel Dahari at the end of the race. But what is it like for you just, heading to Las Vegas, a track that you know a little bit better than you say Richmond, just getting ready for that race, next week and trying to fight to go back to back?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like ever since they changed up this track and all that, and the setups and with the cars and all that, it's just now it went from being one of my top 5 tracks to probably like bottom 2. So it's I don't know, couldn't I don't know, put the worst 2 tracks for me on the last 2 races of the schedule. So I'm just gonna be learning again, trying to see if I can get the most out of the car that I can for hopefully a long run or something. Try to be with or better than my rivals. But yeah, looks like we'll just be having to climb up. But hopefully something big happens.
Well, we'll see if that happens next week. But tonight, it's a third place run here at Richmond. Teammates, sponsor shoutouts. What got it done for that 2019?
Uh, just want to shout out Jaden. He had a good run going, and kind of got taken out of it. So feel like that was his race to lose right there, and he lost it certainly. But it's all right. He'll get another chance. But shout out to Mr. Francisco. Kind of checked in the middle of the race a little bit. Uh, shout out to my sponsors, Charlie Bar Photography and KBRN, Kenneth Bueno. Shout out Kenneth Bueno as well. And shout out JP and Braden Cisco.
There we go. That's your third place finish tonight. He's still got a shot at going back to back here in the season 14 title picture. Ethan Fonseca Moreno comes home third at Richmond. A self-admitted bad track, but if third's a bad track, then you should look out next week as well. Congrats on the third place run, Ethan.
Thank you.
And we will send it to Enrique, who will be catching up with our second place finisher, that being Matthew J. O'Brien.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a hold of him here. He was in the voice chat a couple of seconds ago. Well, we're joined now by our second place finisher, Matthew J. O'Brien. Matthew, we saw you in the top 5 there throughout the race. Ultimately, you were catching Dylan Parker there before that last caution, but unfortunately for you, he got a big restart there. What was that finish from your perspective? The race itself.
I got a little unlucky on that pitting like 50 to go or whatever. Felt like I was in a good spot where I pitted, but caution came out unfortunately and kind of really messed up things, and then took 2. Dylan beat me out of pit road. That first stall kind of he had that first stall from running pole, and that was definitely the difference there. And then I was a little faster, but to be honest, I wasn't really looking forward at him. I was I was more focused on the points battle. So, and then Gabriel had an issue on the last lap. So focused on more focused on finishing second to make sure I got guaranteed points, because don't want to do anything stupid and spin myself out going for the win. Gonna be points leader after this by I think 6 points. So
Actually, 12 points over Dahari, unofficially 21 over Moreno. So still healthy gap over second place as you head to Vegas to fight for the championship. Overall, been a great season for you, and second place finisher here at Richmond. It's nothing to be you know concerned about. It's still a second place finisher and still a pretty good gap to Dahari.
Yeah, it was weird. Like saving tires didn't feel like it really meant anything, just because it was like impossible to pass. The only way you were passing if they really messed up. There was just no grip when you're side by side, so you're kind of stuck wherever you cycled out. And it's like got lucky to cycle out second and bring it home.
Well, good run there to the end. Any sponsors, teammates, shoutouts? Who got that done here tonight?
Thanks, Steven, running the show and stuff, and him and Gabriel for chilling in Discord and being pseudo teammates, I guess. So.
Well, Matthew J. O'Brien, congrats on your second place finish here at Richmond. We'll see you next week, hopefully, fighting for the championship.
That's the plan.
All right, we'll send it to Dawson now, who has caught up with our race winner Dylan Parker. Probably maybe a little bit too excited right now.
Hello.
We'll see if we can get him. If you would wait for a second while I get your stat typed up so that way we can show the people that this is your 35th career win, Unk. Dylan Parker finally gets back to victory lane. Dylan, first things first, congrats on the win, breaking that spell. It's gone back for just only about a season, but still, gotta feel like forever and gotta feel like a weight off your shoulders.
Dude, let me tell you. We went in the pit road. We got a very nice spec of tires. Crew chief said, Hawk Tua, those tires are going to stick. He spit on that thing, and they stuck. Okay. I got clean air for the first time in my entire, dude, it's been like a decade since I've had clean air. And let me tell you, game changer. Got clean air. I was like, holy shit, no wonder whatever the fuck his name, Porter, was like driving away. Clean air literally gives you like an extra 15 points grips. So, dude, let me tell you something. The spell's over. We're back. They called us washed. It's over. Ethan Fonseca, gone. Never heard of him. Johnny Parker, he's back. You know, great start that rivalry. Next season, dude, it's over. It's over for him. We're coming.
Well, you're heading into next season with a lot of momentum on your side. If you run next week, you run next week. If not, you'll be rolling into Daytona in season 15 with all of the positive momentum, winning tonight at Richmond. What is that like for you, though, to hit that milestone? 35 career wins across 14 seasons. You know, the winningest driver and continuing to still add to that total.
Well, you know, they call us Unk, and, you know, we said I raced with the plumbers, but as you can see, we're still racing to this day. You know, this car, it's a shitty car, but we make do with what we got. And Stephen Maggio, you know, got to appreciate Stephen Maggio. That guy, man, I don't know how he puts up with it. Every week with this car, don't understand it. But, you know, make do with what you got. Thank you, NASCAR, Steve Phelps, Steve O'Donnell, giving us this amazing race car that gridlocks people at Richmond Raceway.
Well, it is a race win for you, Dylan. You get home with a checkered flag in tow. Teammates, sponsors, shoutouts. What gets it done for that 3 machine?
I'd like to give a huge, amazing, warming shout out to Caden Adkins. If it wasn't for Caden, I wouldn't have won this race. I'd like to give a shout out to Stephen Maggio. Once again, Stephen Maggio. You know, you pull him in here if you want to. You'll hear some kind words from him. And then I'd like to shout out Dawson Allen, who I gotta pay because for some reason PayPal keeps forgetting to send my info to him.
Alrighty, that is your race winner tonight. 35 career wins, spanning from season 3 all the way till tonight here in the Slide Job Racing. Congrats on the win, Dylan. Congrats on hitting that 35.
Thank you.
Well, Enrique, we apologize for the language that Dylan expressed, obviously. I say that like we're sponsored by anybody, really, we're not. But, you know, Enrique, a very different set of races. It felt like there was 2 races in one here tonight. You know, we had the long green flag run that led to green flag stops, the caution in the middle of it that just broke all hell loose and led to restart after restart, caution, short run, caution, shorter run, caution, longer run than that, short run, caution. It was just back and forth all night.
Oh, well, of course we saw at the beginning of the race, you know, with all the cautions, early cautions that happened. Then we saw Moreno pull out to a lead there, and then Porter, his own teammate, caught him. And of course, we talked about throughout the race, you know, the different strategies that these drivers were gonna play out here, and try to keep their championship hopes alive. And right at the end, we saw one of them, the leader, coming into Richmond, Gabriel Tahari, get into some contact there. But man, what a race! We certainly saw big excitement there. Of course, battle between the BBR teammates, then Maggio catching Porter and making the contact there that sends everyone down pit road. and then Dylan Parker getting those big restarts there to hold off Matthew J. O'Brien. So I'm really, really excited to see what will transpire in next week's championship race at Vegas. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun at Vegas next week. 3 drivers with a shot at a championship looking to etch their name into the books. O'Brien and Dahari looking for their first title in their first season. Moreno was looking to go back-to-back and pick up his second title in just as many seasons. But that's next week. On Tuesday night, of course, we mentioned Thursday night, the Sofa Racing League has a double header of action. We're racing 2 races in one night. We're going to Homestead and we're going to Atlanta. It's going to be a lot of fun. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be a very interesting broadcast, I'll say the least. So tune in for that. You don't want to miss a thing. And mention Vegas next week to determine a champion here in the Slide Jawb Racing League. Well, thank you as always for tuning in and watching these broadcasts, and thank you to Enrique for joining me in the booth. And a shout out to all these drivers for putting on the show they put on for us, because if it wasn't for them, we'd have nothing to show you. From all of us here at BRN, this is Dustin Allen signing off, saying so long, have a great rest of your night, and congrats again, Dylan Parker, on your win here at Richmond.